I noticed her before she noticed me. She was standing near the waterline, shoes in her hand. Dressem lifted just enough to keep it dry. The ocean was calm in that way that feels temporary, like it's holding its breath. I had come early to walk, to clear my head before the afternoon sessions, to be anonymous among strangers. I hadn't prepared for memory to have a face again. For 3 years, she had existed only as absence. No explanation, no ending. Just silence that stretched so long it hardened into something solid. I'd learned how to live around it. Or maybe through it. When she turned and saw me, her face broke. Not dramatically. Not in tears. Just a visible failure of control, like a crack in porcelain. For a split second, she forgot who she was supposed to be now. I almost looked away instinctively, the way you do when you walk in on something too intimate. I considered leaving. It would have been easy. I could have stepped back onto the path, merged with the joggers and dog walkers, carried her image with me like an old bruise, but my feet stayed planted. I wanted to know who I was in this moment. She walked toward me and stopped too far away, then too close, then settled somewhere in between. Up close, she looked mostly the same. The differences were subtle: posture, confidence. The kind of calm that comes from believing you made the right choices. "Hi," she said. Her voice wavered, then steadied. "I didn't think—" "I know," I said gently. I wasn't trying to be kind. I just didn't have the energy for sharp edges anymore. We stood there, the sound of water filling the gaps neither of us rushed to close. 3 years ago, I would have asked everything at once. Now I waited. "I didn't expect to see you," she said. "That makes 2 of us." She laughed briefly, the reflex still intact. Then her eyes searched my face, as if looking for something she could name. Anger, maybe. Accusation. I gave her neither. We talked the way people do when they're afraid of touching the past too directly. "Where are you living? Are you here on vacation? The weather, the beach, neutral territory." She told me she was visiting a friend. I told her I was here for work. "You look different," she said finally. "So do you." There was a pause. She nodded, accepting the symmetry. "I'm sorry," she said too quickly, like she'd been rehearsing it in her head for years. "I know that doesn't fix anything. I didn't know how to leave. And every day I waited, it felt harder. Then it felt impossible. I watched the water slide forward, erase our footprints, retreat again. Something about it felt instructive. You could have said anything," I said. "Even goodbye." She swallowed. I thought silence would hurt less than the truth. "It didn't," I said. Not bitterly. Just as information. My phone rang then, the sound startling in the open air. I glanced at the screen and stepped. A way to take it. Work, a colleague checking details, using my title without thinking. I answered calmly, efficiently. When I ended the call and turned back, something in her expression had shifted. She saw me more clearly now, not as a paused version of the man she left, but as someone who had continued without her. That recognition unsettled her. "You're doing well," she said. "I'm doing," I replied. "That was enough for a while." She hesitated. "Are you seeing someone?" I thought about it. The truth was complicated, but not painful. That alone felt like progress. "Yes," I said. Not seriously, but intentionally. She nodded, absorbing that. The ocean moved closer, forcing us to step back in unison. "I always thought we'd talk again someday," she said. "Properly." "I did too," I admitted. "For a long time." "And now?" I looked at her, really looked. I felt the old tenderness stir, not as desire, but as history. I understood her fear better now. I even forgave it, but forgiveness didn't mean reopening the door. "Now I think some conversations are meant to stay unfinished," I said. Not as punishment, just as consequence. Her eyes filled, but she didn't cry. She nodded once as if committing something to memory. "I'm glad you're okay," she said. "So am I." We stood there another moment, the tide nearly at our feet. Then she turned back toward the beach, and I walked the other way, toward the path and the rest of my day. I didn't feel victorious. I didn't feel sad. I felt intact. Behind me, the ocean erased what we'd left behind. Ahead of me, the path stayed dry.